All right. I see y'all out there. Don't forget don't forget to participate in that poll. Even all to my people out there on the back street, don't forget to participate in the poll. It's not a wrong or right answer. Just participate. Let me see where your head at. Big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people on the back street. Hey, look, y'all don't forget to hit them like buttons. Don't forget to hit them like buttons. And please, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Let me get my shout outs right quick before we get started. Big shout out to. Hold on. Let me get these shout outs right quick. Swamp Thing. Melee in the house. What up, fam? Like you said, scratch and shake that like button. Let's go, y'all. Big shout out to Wills. Welcome to the channel, Wills. Welcome to the Shark Tank, fam. Big shout out to my main man, the one and only Mr. Dickie Foster in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Ron King in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Magnolia Kennels representing the 904 in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Styles Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my nephew out there, Mr. De'Aaron Gibbons in the house. What up, fam? He said, what up, Unc? Love y'all, man. Stay warm down there. Hey, man, no, y'all need to stay warm up there. Y'all look like y'all having some issues. But y'all used to it, yeah? No, we ain't. We been here too damn long. See, got down to 40 degrees. I had to break out the big mink. Finally got a chance to wear it after 3 years. He said, salute to the greats. We got Roger Ram, Jack, and Jack. We got him off. Yo, he was the truth. Well, you know, nephew, y'all had a whole lot of dogs that was the truth, man. Represent yourself, fam. You know what a good dog look like, man. Yeah, you had Roger up there with you for a minute. He came back down here, he had a whole new attitude, believe that. Big shout out to Talk of the City, Kennels in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to Mr. Jeffrey Francis in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Mr. David Morris in the house. Long-time supporter, what up, fam? War Chief in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my main man, Mr. Johnny Rockets in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, Mr. Michael Schrader's in the house. Mr. Michael Schrader is in the house. What up, fam? Yeah. What up? What's up? Y'all know what time it is? It's Hot Like Friday, everybody. Yeah, it is Hot Mic Friday. Big shout out to everybody for showing up. I know it's cold because it's been cold here. Big shout out to RBG Lone Wolf in the house. What up, fam? Hey, man, y'all don't forget to take that poll. Don't forget to take that poll. Again, like I said, take the poll, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Y'all know what it is. Get them up, roll them up, get that drink together. Join in on the conversation. If you don't join in the conversation, just take the poll. More people take the poll, give us more to talk about. And definitely a big shout out to all my people out there in the Shark Tank. That's a must with the big trust. What up, fam? Hey, man, before we get into this conversation, first thing I want to deal with is this cold weather we've been having. Now, it's been cold down here, and it's actually snowing in some places down here. You know, I'm glad I'm not there. Remember, I used to tell you, I used to live in North Carolina. But they had them ice storms, and them ice storms, you know, it was pretty sight, but then again, you know, it wasn't like the snow that I grew up in as far as Ohio, but then it was, you know, they had them ice storms and ice everywhere, and they just wasn't built for that type of shit down there. So when we finally decided to find somewhere to go, we moved further south. That's how we wound up in Florida. Never had been here before. Believe this for sure. We was running from the cold. And then we get 40-degree weather down here. I mean, I know, that ain't nothing. 40-degree weather down here, I still see people walking around in shorts and shit. You know, like they loving it. So I'm all bundled up though. But hey, look, it's important that you take care of these dogs because sometimes if you ain't used to this type of weather and that kind of weather hitting you, it brings on serious issues. And you'll be wondering, you know, how did the dog die, you know, end up freezing to death? You know, but if you're not really used to it, being, you know, in Ohio, we had dogs. we always had a way of trying to keep all the dogs comfortable and warm. Even had flaps over their shit. They had shingle roofs over their dog houses. You know, all nice fresh hay. You know, 2-ply houses. You know, where you got the foam insulation so the wood don't get moist and wet, and something to just keep them cool. You know, that's why 10 dogs in Ohio wasn't nothing, because we had, and they didn't have chains. You know, some had chains in the end, but when we first started, they was on a big ass yard, and I think in that whole time period, we did end up losing 2 to the cold. You know, and shit just happens. Everybody else make it, but then just them 2 didn't make it. But those things happen. You know what I'm saying? So do all you can, because even, weather change has an effect on these dogs. You can feed them as much as you want to feed them, put as much warm shit in there, try to keep that, that cold off of them, but some of them ain't, some of them, they just ain't built for it tough, and you don't know which ones them are. So you just gotta treat them all like they got a deficiency and do your best to make sure the worst is one can be just as good as the strongest one. Treat them all the same. Even if, yeah, like most say, if you don't do nothing but fill the doghouse up with nothing but straw. We used to always have straw. I think we change our straw almost once a week. There'd be so much of it in there, what I mean? You just took, and then they had them flaps over their things, so they could just bury themselves. It's always in the straw. But the important thing about that, you always got to keep fresh straw. You can't let it get wet and mildewed up and shit like that, because now you're bringing problems. Other people in modern technology has basically given us a way of actually keeping dogs warm now, simply because of what you could do as far as the thermal heating. You could get thermal heating strips and put in the bottom of the walls and the bottom floor of some of them dog houses, man. You ain't hip to that though, but check it out. Thermal geo heating strips. They put a lot of that shit in houses, but me, I felt if it worked in houses, it could work on dogs. We never had to try it because we're here in Florida, but it's something that I've been, I seen Tom Garner had two big ass stalls, and all the floors, I think it's the whelping box, building, no, but it's the whelping building, and he had actually had the thermal geo lines running in the floors of that building, and it definitely serves its purpose. So it's not something that's expensive either, fellas. Think about how much it costs to lay cement, and then you think, you're laying cement, you put the rods down through there to help warm up, where you can just like tile over it, or just cement over it. It's real easy, not complicated, and I guarantee you have a whole lot less problems. And that's for people who have pens outside, or people who just want to just try something like that on a concrete slab with a doghouse. Shit does work. Don't need a whole big building. Just shrinking the technology to fit your purpose. And some people, that kind of shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of what you can do to preserve the health of your dog. Because it's a sad day when you lose one. You don't want to help the process. And that's dealing with the code, because we have to deal with it here. Other thing that I wanted to speak on right quick before I turn this thing over to Mo is, when we be talking about the dogs, right? I was listening to my man J-Bo's show yesterday. Y'all know how funny J-Bo is. But a lot of the stuff that he was saying, I mean, I could agree with, and I mean, basically what he was saying, how when we all in our certain areas, like I heard him speaking on a lot of guys that here we way on this side of the world, the country, but I know them guys. You know, they even hear him speaking. They be right there from where he at, and he know him so well, and he a part of that community. I mean, for me to hear him talking about him, I feel like special because I know them guys. You know, J-Bo know them guys. Them guys, them Bulldog guys. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like when he says that and you think about it, and to reminisce because again we're all up in age, so that's all we have to go on, and to show how much I felt his appreciation and him even realizing he's a part of that. That to me that's what this community really is supposed to be like, even moving forward. You know, what we did in the past, but that shouldn't change the, the the human concept. Men and women made this generation of dogs. There's women out there who don't get the recognition that they should have. I think we should do a show on them. I mean, because I think it was Pat Lopasi. Was that her name? Miss Lopasi, man, she was just as cool and a beautiful person, man. Pat Lopasi, right? Yeah, yeah. But beautiful person. Was behind some of the dogs that we had. But just to talk about her, and not give her, not just look at her as just a woman. Look at the history behind the woman. Katie Marlowe. Look at the history behind the woman. Even Ed's wife. Hell, James Edwards' wife was cool as hell. She was cool as hell. She hollered, well, you remember these guys got loose, we pull his ass up, jump right in there and be right in the middle of the conversation because they seen a lot. I mean, when you think back, for us to think back and know these people and their contribution, regardless of what the situation was, the thing is, it was really a part of a community. Maybe that's what I liked about traveling. Getting a chance to go to those barbecues and them cookouts, and there's just a whole bunch of dog men just sitting around, just talking and having fun. I mean, we have YouTube, and I guess you could look at it as the pig picking and the type of situation because you got different type of cookouts to go hang out at, and so all of them's different. But it's still about bulldogging and the love of the game, and the love of the dog. And I just always felt like, you got to give appreciation to the people, back there because they made their history. We don't know what the future is going to look like. We don't even know what the conversation is going to look like. But whatever it is, you can't forget the history. And that's what I liked about J-Bo's show last night because he had one of them heartfelt moments. You know how J-Bo get. J-Bo put it out there, let it be known. No, we can't forget about them. Hell, he's a part of them. How in the hell y'all gonna forget about, like I say, us? We ain't nothing big, but then, like, look at all the names that he was naming. And like he said, he's nothing compared to them. Look what we be saying. We're nothing compared to them. That right there to me is special. Because if you understand what we're talking about and you can see the body of work that we put in, regardless of what y'all doing moving forward, the thing is, respect the past because you ain't created nothing that's going to change this whole entire game. But the good thing about it is you got the right bulldog in the right person's hands, you never know. But you still is something that's gonna have something to do with that past. That's why I enjoy talking about it. That's why we enjoy sharing it. I might say that part every week, but I only say it because in order for the community to get a cool, correct understanding what I'm trying to say, I got to keep saying it. You know, they say something, you keep saying something enough that you'll start believing the shit. Well, I really believe the shit. And it's not to put what's happening in the future. I'm trying to show all respect that's due to the past. And that, to me, there's a whole lot of them just sitting back there on the back street, just sitting back, just listening. Because for that moment that they on that bus back there hanging out, they feel that, you know, that because they might have been some of them that know that feeling, knew what it was like, had them between their legs. They just ain't out here to talk about it. But they slide through, they be popping in and out, throwing that, you know, that good conversation out there, throwing dogs out in certain areas, playing, make sure you hit, you know, hit this pedigree up, talk about these dogs. That's why we can go all over the place. Because if it wasn't worth talking about it, we ain't gonna be talking about it. That's all. We're talking about the history. See, anything that's already been done, it's not really much you can, you know, change back there, but you can always talk about it because at some point, somewhere, that had a big effect on somebody. And with everybody running around here, big as this community is supposed to be, big as I see it, I still think 1,000 people is a whole lot of people to me. To sit there and watch a Bulldog video, you know, I find it a blessing regardless of where it is in the world. But then that's still a community of people that you reaching out to. Imagine having, just going out having a speech in front of 1,000 people. Just 1,000. That's still a lot of people. And then to be able to share that and understand that, and at least knowing you got 1,000 people, give them something to listen to. Take them way back and get them to feel, you know, what it took to really be able to stand in this thing called a box. You know, why it was meant to be a competitive sport. Why that animal? What did it take? You know, you got people who know how to raise horses, pigs, and llamas, and, you know, then there's that group to know how to raise some good American game dogs. A whole group of them. And me, I'm trying to pick up just enough to show you that there are no gaps in this trail just moving into the future. There really are no gaps. If you stay with it long enough, you're going to understand exactly what that means. Because if you're doing it, you're going to be just like everybody else who ever did it. We all had to start somewhere. It's just a matter of where you want to go with what you're doing. What direction are you going to go? For us, we had a different reason. Remember, that's always, I feed back to understanding we all had a different type of purpose when you're messing with these dogs. That's, you can train them to bite people, you can train them to run up a wall, you can train them to run a treadmill. Everybody's going to have their own purpose. But understanding there is a purpose, there is a certain type of work that goes with that purpose. Then we have never had to teach a dog how to, pit bull how to bite people, or, you know, they all know how to sit and know how to act. I always thought a good dog was a smart dog, regardless of what it is. You know? But there's different purposes why I don't do things with the pit bull that I do with the Malamar. You know, just two different purposes. And understanding that purpose, you really got to know the dog and what actually makes a good, healthy dog. You know, what does that attitude look like? What do I need to first even start this venture? Well, me, I'm trying to tell you, you better be taking some damn shortcuts. You need to be watching these damn videos, go out and buy some of these damn books out here and read. I've always said this and I will repeat myself. If you grab these books, the Schoolboys, the Fat Bills, the Ed Crenshaws, and just grab the knowledge for yourself. Everybody interprets things different. But if you really want to be what I consider good at, regardless of whatever you do, you know, the more information you have, the better you're going to be. And I'm going to put it out there like that. You know, you always hear the great ones like Kobe, LeBron. They know every aspect of the game. The Lawrence Taylors. I mean, the football players, you know, the Deion Sanders, the ones who just know every aspect and try to make their game different, regardless of how many people are doing it, they're going to make their game different. There's an art to that. Anybody who was dealing with these Bulldogs, climbed over that wall, to them they had an art to that. And if you wanted to really know just how good they was with their art, they didn't really have to say much now because you can go back and check out their history and it's self-explanatory who that person was. Whether it was conditioning, breeding, boxing, even, you know, promoting them, however you want to do, everybody had their own way of doing this game, and they wouldn't be where they're talking about if they didn't have something to talk about. Same thing about the dog. The dog ain't worthy to talk about unless there's something there to talk about. You know, that's why you have to enjoy these type of conversations. Get involved in these conversations. And big shout out to J-Bo because he just brought that conversation up and he threw it out there and it was like, you know what, that's one of the reasons why we really did travel. That's maybe why we got a chance to meet and see a bunch of people. You know, but just to hear him talk about some of the guys that I knew that's down there in his area, and you know, J-Bo is a legend in that area. And for me, that was like, I know J-Bo too. Now, J-Bo, you know them, I know them too. Good people, good dogs. You know, from my time to his time, yeah, that was a place that you got to be, you know, you go down through there when you know, that was like trying to, you know, it was different in Texas, because Texas, we always felt like we could go beat up on Texas. No hard feelings, Texas. Y'all just had good Bulldogs, and if you wanted to put your shit to the test, you know, that was where you're going to go. That first, between you, Florida, and I'd say the Carolinas, but that Louisiana area, moving out that way was just a little bit different. That Mississippi, Louisiana, New Orleans shit down through there, man. You know, them was some rough roads. They were just like them gators. You know, so that's what kind of always made that area somewhat special. That's why you always say, you know, they say, you know, Mayday and them and shit that make it down that way. But you got to kind of remember now. Look how many champions and grand champions and Mayday dogs was out there, including ours. That's a whole lot of country that these dogs kind of like covered. But there's one reason why nobody ever really made it over to Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana come out of Louisiana because won't nobody come. There was a reason why people wasn't hanging around down through there. When brothers start popping up, then you start seeing a little bit of movement. A lot more movement when the brothers start popping their head up, because you could get a brother to want to go over there, you know, and beat him up and leave. They weren't having it, man. Well, they more. You just couldn't go, man. Look, it was rough on a brother, even back in the 80s and 90s, man. I'm just telling you, cuz they still was working on barriers down in that joint. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't stop us from stopping through there. It was just, like I told you, there was a change in the times then, and it was just, you couldn't move too fast in certain places. And that was just one of the places. boot camp, clip, uh, Lockdown Rudy and them. They traveled, man. Them boys, they wasn't just in Louisiana. They traveled, and if you notice in the book, to one story, they traveled in his ass too. You know, but that was just to hear J-Bo talk about it. From my time, I knew them people. I knew the whole thing about how everybody wasn't running up in Louisiana. I kind of knew the change when them brothers started coming out of there with they shit. They was out here beating up them people shit. And they got off under that. But it was easy, you got to respect the man that was living during in that area around that time and still had good bulldogs and was willing to get out there, and open the doors for us to be able to go in there. I said, y'all ain't got to be the only ones that's down there beating up on it. Y'all get us in, get us out. We be down that way. Right. We go put them on, help y'all put everybody in retirement, and you start seeing a little bit of change down through there. But these things is a part of the history, and being able to just reminisce on what we consider it was a good time in the game. So enjoy that part of it. Take a little bit of this information that we throw out there. I always say, knowledge is based on the person who's trying to obtain and absorb something that's going to benefit them. And these dogs are just something I feel like they were worth absorbing all the information that you could. Because when you're trying to be the best, you got to do something a little bit different than what everybody else doing. There's something about being the best. You got to be able to stand out higher than what I consider what was average. So I got to first understand what that looked like. Okay, I can tell you what it looked like. I think I'm going to try to tell you what it actually looks like. Now, how can I become a part of that? Well, this is what this show is all about. Take advantage of that, man. We're going to be, don't forget to take that poll. And again, respect to all the old dog men out there, even my people out on the back street. Get in there, my Uncle Willie's and them. They know what that feel like. They know because they were a part of it, and they always have something that they can add to just, you can feel confident about. Because that's an old dog, man, still just not doing nothing but just love to go back and talk about it. The real shit, what their reality of the game. We only on this right here telling our story. So our story, even though they might not want to get up here and tell their story, it's going to always include them because they're going to know, hey, I remember that. I was there. And then they feel comfortable to talk about it, and we'll help them tell their story. That's the glory of doing it this way. Because we can all go back and enjoy a moment that represents the great dogs. So we don't know what the future got to hold, so there's always been greatness. So all you got to do is just keep creating the greatness. But truly understand, in order to get where you're going, you got to understand where you're coming from. And that's how we looked at it. We appreciate and going to always respect where we came from. And so we want y'all to enjoy that with it and participate in it. Throw them pedigrees up there. Put them stories out there. There's a whole lot of tapping in there. We haven't gotten sophisticated to have 5 and 6 people on the screen and everything. But, we do have that call in where you can just call in and just share your moments. Because for me, it ain't about the technology. I wish I could, when my phone was a little different, I did my upgrade. I could merge a lot of people together. But then I got my new phone. They don't even give me a phone jack in it. Everything is Bluetooth, and every time I walk in the room, it's always connecting to something. So they might have got smart about that part. But still, we have ways of just calling in. Sometimes I put the number in. The reason I stopped putting the number out there because wasn't nobody calling in. But we're gonna try to keep putting the number in. But that's the sole purpose of why I know I got a chat out there. You know, somebody put out there, put the number up or anything, because I can just sit there and watch the chat, talk to each other all night, and have their own conversation. If that's what they feel like doing without having to call in, then so be it. That's the Shark Tank out there. And I've always seen good conversations. But always feel free and understand that part and that door is always open. All you got to do is say, pin up the number, and I will pin up the number. But then I'll be expecting you to call. But other than that, keep sharing your information with each other and then participate in the whole chat thing. You know what I mean? As far as the questions and all that other shit. If you have any comments, you know, well, I don't have to tell you about the email because we get enough emails and messages on the back street, and we try to answer everything that you put out there. It might be a little slow at it, fellas, but trust me, we do get it, and it becomes good conversation because we do talk about it. But tonight we're going to be talking about code females and the importance of why you would do it, you know, and is there a scientific purpose of doing it? And then what would make you want to do it? You know, what's the mind frame? I'm going to let Mo get into that. Because I never understood the mind frame. And on our yard, we really didn't have, and you know, he a female type of dude. You know, but I actually, you know, we had, I know Powder was cold and she produced, you know, and I think she might have been the only one. Oh, Shaquille, she was on the yard. She was cold. And you can see we had to breed to her too. So, yeah, it's not something like we wouldn't do it. But we have done it, I'll let Mo tell you why he done it. You know, a lot of people who done it. But there, you know, like I always ask him what was the science behind doing it. And then remember our KP. Remember, he's a mad scientist. This is what we, you know, Mo always called it the modern day Earl Tudor. Nobody tears into a paper and has a greater debate than he does. You can't get him to breed nothing cold. Nothing. You know. I'm telling you, my man KP, he ain't gonna get him to do it, but he is behind, you know. I put him on the level. He's created I believe, more grand champions and champions in STP. And I said created. You know, we take y'all on the run, but trust and believe, there's one man behind that mad scientist. There's one hell of a breeder, and you know, we show you in just his work. We always say going hard behind it because he's always been a part of going hard. He is that silent KP. He is the reason we have the dogs that we've had. But there is a science behind what he does. And for somebody, you know, for him and Mo, and you know how Mo is, just imagine how he is, and to be able to create and do the things that they have done have been amazing for me to sit back and watch. But it's just funny when Mo breed a cold when you couldn't get KP to even look at one. You know, KP walking one down the street and hear a big pile, you know, don't know where it come from, and the dog got skitties. KP, what was that? Dog was gone in less than 24 hours. KP don't play that, man. He be up on him. He don't, whatever he see he don't like. I mean, when he dropped one, he dropped everything in the whole program. It better not nothing be out there on the yard. They came off of it. I mean, nothing. No, you know how you just take up paper and you shoot the jumper with it and you still miss the basket. I bet you him and Mo probably done that so much it ain't funny. But it's funny for me to talk about it because I done seen him scrap the whole thing. And then you see me run behind him and be like pulling it back out. Mo, did you look at this? You already know how Tone is, man. Damn Tone. We're gonna get, we're gonna do this then. Always have a reason. Just try it any damn way. Just be hard headed trying to prove a point. But KP, special dude, and he's one of the reasons why we're gonna have this conversation. At least tonight, because we want to see how the viewers look. How does the community look at these type of situations? So I'm gonna let Mo handle it, and then, he always has a good way of putting it, his debate, And I just wanted to see how everybody ride. So y'all keep taking that poem while I turn it over here on you, Mo.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Hot Mike Friday. Glad to see everybody made it. Cold. Man, it's cold out there. I had me a worsted on my face. I'm walking metal walls. It's cold out there. Yeah. Thanks for everybody coming out. Yeah. One thing Mike was speaking on when it comes to that straw, man, I say, look, May May died unexpectedly from the cold. I know that. I had one crybaby, and I thought I had it all set. Only thing I think I did wrong, it was because of her that I started putting those, them freezer plastics and real thick ones. You see them hanging in supermarkets, but they just walk through, but they had them big old long strips of plastic. I started doing that to my dog houses for that reason. Because I had her stuff pulled up, but it was like a real bad, like blizzard. Like the wind was really churning out there. And it seemed like all the other dogs was able to snuggle up and would seem okay. So I was expecting to see her snuggled up and okay. I don't know why she died, but she was, I guess the hay didn't keep that breeze out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, even with all that straw, she still froze to death. Something killed her. But yeah, I just knew when I started putting that plastic over it, before I left there, I didn't lose any to the cold anymore. It's hard taking care of dogs in a kennel, when you're dealing with so much snow, especially if you got a concrete floor. Because, that floor is going to turn into snow, then it's going to turn into ice, and, it's not a good way of cleaning up shit, you know what I'm saying? You got to do some shoveling to clean up shit, so you might as well, you ain't got a hot, watered pressure washer, Then it becomes a hard task. Dogs on the chain, same thing. Dog running that chain, just like he run that snow, you run that dirt, it makes a mess out there. It's even more of a mess because you got that melted hot shit hitting that shit, and next thing you know, it's turning into hard shit, and next thing you know, you don't see it 2 or 3 days later until the dog just spread it around the yard. It's not like it's so easy to clean up in the snow as it would be when it's not snow. So there's a lot of work to be put into, and you got to really put it into for your dogs that's out there on chains or in those cages. You really got to stuff those houses with that straw. I mean, put some good money into it. Not like it's gonna last forever, but you want to make sure that your dogs is comfortable. Give them a whole bunch of straw to bury down into, and let them shiver their warmth. When they covered up in that straw and they got that little hot area, they can shiver up enough heat to keep them comfortable while they sleep. they'll go to sleep and die from freezing to death in their sleep. If you don't put enough for them to shiver their warmth, maintain their warmth. So just wanted to get on that, just to reiterate it, because it's been very cold in several places around here. I don't want to see nobody losing their dog to the weather conditions. While we're talking about the cold, you know, that cold breeding program with cold dogs, you know, just imagine if everybody wanted to breed their cold dog. You know what I'm saying? Do you know how many cold dogs, you know, everybody wanted to breed their cold dogs? How many dogs would we even have around this dog game? I mean, to breed a cold dog, you're really shooting the dice. But I'm going to show you the difference between those who's doing it with a percentage in thought compared to those who just think because their dog is bred good. But bred good doesn't mean the production was good. You know, that's the science in there. You got to know what cold dog you breed. You know, are there known cold dogs to produce in this line of dogs you're trying to deal with? Or are you one of those that's going to take Jim Bob's dog and because he didn't want her because she was cold and you just going to throw something on her? What are your chances? What are your percentages? Because you're sure going to have a litter of puppies. You know, and you start doing that, you're going to have a lot of damn puppies. And just what you're going to end up feeding. You know, a lot of that mix and match pedigree shit, it works. It works, but it only works when you have a factor there. What's the factor? The factor is in the genetics of these dogs, and they cold, they throw. I give you one of the biggest examples is Stone City. Another example is Mayday. Got the name Mayday because Mayday mama wasn't no matchdog. Polly wasn't no matchdog. No, Awesome Baby, she wasn't no matchdog. Sarah Kell wasn't no matchdog. Blondie wasn't no matchdog. These was all cold bitches. Miss Kim, I think her name is Kim, old Triple M's female that produced all them 17 wins. She was a cold dog. So what makes those dogs, and why did those particular dogs stand out, even in the history of some of these great pedigrees that they were in? You know what I'm saying? Shit, Powder, we had one, her name was Powder. Actually, she had her and her sister. We had one named Whitehead off of Beetlejuice, off of Buck Rogers and Beetlejuice. But look, she was a cold dog. But everything in her litter was on. Everything in that litter was on. You know, I mean, and all the males got matched. The female cop up easier. I think we had one dog out of the litter, and we don't know what happened to him. You know, he might have been slow like Roger. And probably turned out to be a beast. Named Paul Wall. His name was Paul Wall. He was out of that Roger Ramjet and 10-4 and Pharaoh. Yeah, them dogs right there, they all made it to the box. You know, off a cold dog. But again, was there a reason why it was known to do? Well, it is. It is. You know, breeding cold dogs can cause you a problem if you don't have a genetic makeup to get the results that you're looking for, or you're going to be ended up having, how many litters are you going to keep continuing to breed her, and you get more cold dogs than you are any bulldogs? Again, we're talking about in my era. I'm not, when I discuss this kind of stuff, remember, I don't talk it in y'all terms because I'm not in y'all terms. So just assume that we didn't got on the bus, we didn't made it across the bridge, everybody done grabbed their dogs, You know, and we mainly today we evaluating the code bitches. So we shouldn't be having nothing on the bus but your aspect of the cold dog you have on your yard. Okay? That's what we going with. We ain't bringing no bulldogs. We're going to start with the cold dogs or dogs that are bred good, that ain't tested dogs. We're going to give them consideration of being part of a conversation just based on the way they bred. Okay? So let's try that. Just keep in mind all this is for the purpose of entertainment. You know what I mean? Don't go home, spreading the love about what you learned over here today. Telling and talking to the wrong people, making them think that you're breeding and producing your dog for the purpose. Back here, we can do everything we want to do back here because we safe back here. So take your imagination and take it and with your dog and just zip in and just try to understand. Put yourself in our shoes and walk with us. Hey, Mike. Mike, why don't you bring me a soda, man? Hey, Mike, can you get me in? No. All right, fellas. I'm gonna be looking down here. Hold on, let me make sure I got my glasses here. While I'm talking about, I'm gonna be looking. Let me put my doctor eyes on. I'm gonna be trying to keep my eye. I think Mike gonna try to keep his eye on the thing. As far as anybody got any other cold dogs that they want to throw up here tonight, you know what I'm saying? Anybody got any suggestions? Okay. I think the first one I want to start off with is, I hear everybody talking about, the Mayday stuff. And I'm going to just give y'all a little insight on what made, it's not really the Mayday stuff that really set it up. It was the breedings that set up something that was almost like Frisco to me. I think even better than Frisco and G. That combination, and they work in their hand with cold dogs. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing about Mayday, I think, I don't know who's, I hear a lot of things when they be talking about Mayday, and to be honest, it's not too many people, especially in my time, I was very familiar with the dog. Me and Victor was pretty cool, even though I could hardly ever understand him, but I could understand what he was talking about. And I don't think when Victor started out this run with these dogs right here, I think he started out with the thought that it didn't have nothing to do with production. Nothing. I mean, Mayday is just like any other dog on the yard. Dragon Lady, like any other dog on the yard. Choice is like any other dog on the yard. He got 3 dogs on the yard, litter mates. Wonder what he saw where he wanted to match all 3 of them litter mates. Especially coming off of a female who was cold. Wasn't no gut buster. See where you get the white chest from. You see where the back feet come from. That's a Mayday dog. You see them two white toes back there? You see that white chest? That's a trait. We don't see no one-time winner, no one-time nothing. See, just a regular old bulldog. What was it? What was it? Were they breeding for pedigree? Why yellow? Why Grand Champion yellow? Why go after him? What was Mr. Hollingworth thinking? With all this Patrick shit running around, you know what I'm saying? You got all this Hollingworth running around. Why did they go pick yellow? Okay? But there's factors in here that I wanted you to keep an eye on. That's one of them right there. Here's the other one right here. Here's a real good one right here. But as you go creeping down, who are you? All these same old dogs, I got to throw him in there. But as I go down through here, we start seeing, what are we seeing? I'm pointing them out. What are we seeing? Consistent. 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 You're seeing the same thing. Going right up the ladder. You got to throw this in. But you got to remember we're still dealing with this, which is all this down here. You see that? They used Rowdy. Everybody thought that he was out in there. Is he really though? Is he really though? You just threw this in here, but this is going to be working the same hand that we was working with way back there with all these dogs. You're looking for that to be the difference, but it ain't. We just got some right in here. You see that right there? See that right there? Y'all catching me? So when y'all be hollering about them outs of Mayday, what do you see there? There is a formula. You see that? Let me go all the way back out and start with the big picture all over again so you can literally see everything I started with right here. It all looked like that patch. Then when you get up here, you be like, yeah, this is it. Well, is it? Do you see it? So it's been consistent. 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 All the way over to here. We know who this is. We know there's going to be some consistent stuff here. If you was looking at it like they were looking at it back then, probably the only reason why they did it. Probably the only reason why they did it. And you already know Who that offspring brings you to? See it right there? Keep thing of thought. Keep that thought. Keep that thought when we bring him over here and put him over here in this stuff. Did they really step out? No. Because, see, we got this anyway. Remember all that stuff we were seeing up there at the top end? We was getting all this down there. We was getting all this. And we still staying there. Staying there. Very same shit make the Boyles dogs down there. Way back here. And then the what? Have a cold bitch. All that work to get two cold bitches. Polly and Dolly. You see the traits. We see the traits. We see where Mayday got it from. Little May's sister. And look what she created. Grand Champion Haunch. Latin Force Champion Johnny. May, Dragon, Napalm, and Saber. If you don't know those names, I'm pretty sure you know Haunch and May. Johnny 5, I think he lost one. Napalm, we talked about her the other night during the show and how important she was into the foregoing. One of them Mayday dogs is popping up in them great dogs that are, you know, coming past Mayday. As she was a producer. A great producer. Red nose. Red nose. They was not promoting Mayday back then. They was matching dogs. They was matching Mayday and them. You see what I'm saying? They wasn't promoting him. They was matching him. On top of these, game loser. And he went a long match. He was in a long match. And the Crafts was a good one. Yeah. I ain't trying to do a bunch of these pages either. Yeah, but they ain't you got Diana. You go Psycho. You know, he had a Little May's sister. She was a 2-time winner. You know, that's the 3 hour, 17-minute dog right there. 2-time winner over there, Goldie. I mean, I can probably go down here and pull out a couple of them. Dolly just didn't have that master 3-man litter thing, and that was it. Her genetics was set up to show you something far more different and better. You can't forget the Missing Link dog. Oh, Lil John. Still Dolly stuff. Co-female. So you mean to tell me when they did all that breeding, oh shit, get me back out of here. Doing all that breeding to get her to where she was at to be a cold dog. We see all her genetics. Lupe, Cold Dog. Producer. This ain't nothing new. We already were dealing with all this. Bully Son and all them. We already know this was gonna work. What do you see there? Mm-hmm. Them the ones. That's the same old Bam Bam we be talking about. Yep, that yellow man. Little May brother, Twist. So, you know, we dealing with two sisters that carries a strong line to produce. That's what it did with these cold females. With the cold females. These is not just grabbing something and putting it together and still being happy with the results when there ain't a damn little mate in here as a male. As a male that did anything of these females. And they cold. And they cold. Where's the champion males at? You know what I'm saying? I mean, first of all, I'm dealing with a cold bitch here. I ain't getting no match dogs out of my males. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting none of that. So why was it important to go to yellow? Outside of all this going on right here, what made them take that shit to yellow? Yeah, you see the body. Got a lot of buck in them. You see them toes. You see them whites. Why him? If I'm gonna make an outcross, why not? I'm gonna take my cold bitch and I'm gonna breed to the dog that's during that time close to me, that's famous. His name is Grand Champion Yellow. Grand Champion Yellow. What you think it was? Was it the Grand Champion or the ROM part? Was it the fact that he was coming off this ROM in production line? Coming down off that Red Boy stuff? Was it that made him go think about, hey, I really like to take this cold bitch to yellow? Because that's exactly what he's saying. What else can he be saying? Bitch ain't produced nothing yet. He had to be thinking that it wasn't just yellow, the Grand Champion. It was yellow, Yellow John, Red Boy. You don't think that they knew what Yellow was doing? You don't think that they wasn't seeing the little crosses that Yellow was throwing when he did this? Yellow already had a name. Everybody say, you know, Yellow wasn't the greatest. He whooped one guy 3 times. You know, out of the 6th win, he whooped the same kennel 3 times. He spent his time cleaning out the yard. You know what I'm saying? So we can't really, for those who want to talk shit on the dog, this would be the perfect dog to talk shit about. If you knew his actual record. Remember, David Tanton really didn't like him. Carl Cruz liked him. But he won. But this part right here is what brought her to him. Because they had all they needed down there with Dolly. They wanted to bring more ROM to Dolly. This dog right here, all this right here was the key to going to yellow. Why not bring this out? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna stay on him too long. But if you looking like I'm looking, I'm pretty sure they knew this too back then. You know, just on this page alone. I'm pretty sure they knew this back there. Long before they decided to breed Yellow, because Yellow was an old dog when they bred the Dolly. They wanted production. They took their cold bitch to the best thing that they seen out there at the time. Somebody close by too. Yeah, let's go do this. That's all it was. Guaranteed, that's all it was. Yeah, you seen the names, right? Can't win nothing if you ain't matching nothing. And this just a few. We've been over these already. They're just a few. And out of that, man, I'm telling you, man, that was the key. That's why they took their cold bitch. Because ain't nothing else on the yard. If I'm sitting there with their Polly and Dolly, they cold dogs. What in the world am I going to do with these cold ass dogs? They ain't got no males, nothing. So what are they doing? Think about it. Since you got one cold bitch on your yard, you got a cold bitch on your yard, think about Dolly. Okay? They found the perfect dog to even take the test to see. They took Polly and ran over there and they some shit. They took Polly and watch how they did Polly. Polly, they waited for Polly to go get her some after Dolly. You see what I'm saying? Polly became a factor after Dolly did. Look at it. This came early right here. This one right here, this one came early. They took Polly and said, let's breed the Budweiser. That's like breeding the Yellow. They're taking this cold bitch and saying, we're going to try it with the Jeep stuff. Great producer. They still messing around in them top echelons of producing dogs. They still taking these cold bitches and putting them on some producers. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it worked. Yes, it did work. You got Johnny Five, and I'm sure Johnny Five lost one. But it came back even better. It came back even better when they took that son. They took that son off of Yellow. Off of Yellow now and bred You know what I'm saying? And when they made that breeding, they got results. Bud Dry to Poly. That's almost like this one right here. You know what I'm saying? Remember that? See? Remember that? So they're going to ride one with yellow and they're going to ride the other one with Jeep. Which one turned out better, y'all? Two cold bitches. Which one got the better deal? Was it Dolly or Polly? Well, I'm going to put it like this. Dolly going to yellow showed everybody that, guess what? The Jeep shit worked okay, but that going to yellow shit, going to yellow was the key factor. We need to take that and put that back over here on Polly and let's see what we get. And they got a whole lot. Then they went and grabbed up some of this shit here. See how it's bred? When you start interacting and mingling down in all this right here. Okay, now let's go take this right here and go breed that to Mayday. You got Twisted and Bam Bam. We know Twisted produced. Another cold bitch, let me remind you. Another cold bitch. Another cold bitch. Yes, she was cold. And let's go breed her to Mayday. I don't see the Max and them crew there, but, you know, Max and them. Let me see if there's another Twisted on here where I can really kind of show y'all what that cold bitch threw after Mayday. You know what I'm saying? Got anything on here? Because you know Bam Bam, you know, like I said, we talked about Bam Bam, but Twisted had more than this. Yeah, he had them. These two right here was some badass dogs. This one right here was really some shit. And this bitch was cold too. This bitch was cold. She was cold. We ain't made it over this way yet, but you know, I'm just stopping through. This was cold. Cold bitches. I know y'all ain't gonna be having to. I do this anyway. Ain't got him on there, but you know. Again, if we go back on Bam Bam, you'll find that Bam Bam is Yellow Man, Grand Champion Yellow Man's daddy. Let me see. Is it in there nowhere? Ain't got none nowhere on here. We did that. We did that already. We on the cold bitches, but I'm just showing you what these dogs are doing and how they was doing it. And realizing what was really working in the long run, because they all ran back to yellow. They all ran back to yellow. All of them. That's what made him great. That's what made him great, because he was the male. He was the proven male. He was the new yellow. He was the next yellow. How do we know that? Because he putting him down and he winning. This was before he even became a registered mare. This is before he even started throwing out great dogs. He was a match dog. This cold bitch dude, this dog, he was out there kicking ass off of this cold dog. And produced with a cold mama. And we got so many champions that come off of this dog, it's ridiculous. I told you I can name 15. Schoolboy can name about 20. But I can tell you about at least 15 that was right here in the United States. And we still riding on the major factor. And y'all, I'm telling y'all what the major factor to these cold bitches was. Him. Same concept. I would have to say it's the same concept. I'm trying to get to Blondie. Hold on. Yeah, I do it this way. Let me see if I can find her. Another red-nosed cold bitch. We're going to talk about Goldie, though. I'm going to tell you why we're going to talk about Goldie. Because Goldie had to decide. That's a factor right there. Goldie had to decide just the best way and only way for her to go with all this. She's not quite 50-50. She's not quite there. But she can damn near give a little more than a quarter of Jocko. You can give a little quarter of Jocko. And being that I'm dealing with Goldie, yet I'm still coming off of Rodney, who's coming off of Yellow, who's coming off of Yellow John. I'm feeling pretty good with Reddy. I'm feeling pretty good with Reddy. So when I go and take Reddy and breathe into this 50-50, well, I would have to call it 50-50 because I'm dealing with Jocko here and I'm dealing with Jocko here. And I would go more of a 3/4 and a 1 1/4 over here with Red Boy. So he knew what he was doing because he took all his Red Boy Jocko stuff and crossed it in. Goldie, guaranteed she was a cold bitch. You know, I'm going to tell you why I believe she was a cold bitch. Because she threw a cold bitch.
Oh man, Cool Bean said Victor told him that Dolly started late, so she really wasn't a cold, just a late starter.
Look here. I can tell you one thing about Victor. I'm going to show you one thing about Victor. Hold on. Let me get back to Dolly. Let me get back to Dolly. I got to get back to Dolly right quick. Here, let me show y'all something. That's about the prettiest picture you're going to see of Dolly. Look closely at Dolly. We're going to get an older picture. Look at Dolly. That's an older picture of her. She started out late. Ain't nobody touching that shoulder. Ain't nobody touching that leg. Ain't nobody touching that nostril. Yeah, she started late, all right. Believe me, if Victor had her and she was doing something, goddamn it, you would see it on her right now. And that's her older picture. Mm-hmm. You know, Victor will tell you, he's not going to tell you she was cold. He ain't going to tell you she was a cur. But this is an older picture of her. Ain't nobody hitting her up in them shoulders. Ain't nobody tattooed them legs. That's an old dog. That's the young dog. Ain't nobody touching them shoulders and legs. If she's a late starter, okay, that's late there. That's early there. Okay? So, cool bean. I'm just pointing out. I'm just pointing out the paperwork, man. Let the picture speak for themselves. We seen her young and old. Did nothing change by the time she got old. Especially if Victor had her. Trust me. Especially if Victor had her. I know Mr. Hollingworth had her. So shit. Come on now. When she was red and yellow, Mr. Hollingworth had her. This was the factor, though. It didn't matter with her. We can keep her cold. She's safer there. We ain't going to sit there and lie and say she was game tested. That's for damn sure. Because we don't see nothing game tested on her nowhere. Nowhere. Old picture or the new young picture. Come on now. This is the factor. This is where he was looking for when they made this move here. He knew what he was doing when he made this move here. He had to come out of all this and take it to something that was going to produce. Already had the background. What do we always say? We always beat our champion. We always beat the champions. At some point, you got to go do that. At some point, they knew they had to go do that. And they did that. And they created something great. You think they knew when they made that breeding they were going to come up with that famous dog right there? You think they knew that when they made that breeding they were going to come up with Choice and Dragon Lady and a couple more out of that one line of breeding of dogs? No, I don't think they knew that. You know, I just don't believe they knew that. The results came up once Victor got his hands on that litter. And what he did with that litter, he matched that shit. That's what Victor did. He put that stuff out there. Okay? That was the whole thing about dealing with two cold dogs to produce great dogs. And the fact is, what did they breed it to make it work? They bred it to the red boy stuff. You know, we can take red boy and just throw him everywhere, but we still keep bringing him up, even though we got all this tombstone, all this bolio. You know what I'm saying? We got it all. And then we go in there and we throw us some Eli, Bully Son, some Tudor, Darbo. I mean, we just throw all that in there to end up with a cold bitch. This is what you do with cold bitches. You beat them to great males. It wasn't by accident either. They knew what they was doing. You already know I'm going there next. Same concept. Cold bitch. I'm pretty sure they ain't gonna sit there and tell you she was game tested. Bred 3 times and number 2 on the RM list the whole time the journal was out there. Maybe because the alphabet helped her out a lot, but the fact is she stayed right up there under Honey Bunch the whole time she was on the RM list in the journal. Another cold bitch. What did they do with their cold bitch? Let me tell you the first thing they did. They took her and they bred her to this dog. The Luger breeding was a little accident, but basically this was a plan move right here. They took this cold bitch, and they probably was thinking like Victor and them, whoever Mr. Hollandworth, when he ran and grabbed Yellow, they ran and grabbed Buck. You see what I'm saying? They ran and went this way. Go this way, you still looking like Dolly. Still looking like Dolly. We still see them same old peoples. They went on this end, they went and grabbed them some Zebo. But we seen this. We seen the Diabo stuff. We seen the Diabo stuff up there in Mayday's Pedigree. It's the same thing, just twisted around. We seen all this. That was their first move. When they got their hands on this dog right here. Definitely came from STP. Won with him and then bred him to they cold bitch. And produced a match dog. What I tell you about them traits? What I tell you about them traits? The traits come from this shit. With all this yellow, with all that yellow, this trait still showed up. And along with them traits to show up, look what else shows up. Where'd it come from? Where'd it come from? When they did this right here. Still doing the same old stuff. If we get out of Jedi, when we got Jedi from STP1, we just take him and do what STP to make Jedi. We take baby and take her back to straight to Buck. See, we got Jedi from him. Maybe he'll let us breed awesome baby to Buck. Come on, boys. Here's another cold bitch. Breeding to a badass smell like they bred the yellow. That's like taking Dolly and breeding the yellow. Now we taking yellow and breeding the Buck. Same damn results. Same damn production scheme. Same thing that made that bitch all women. The same thing that made Dolly and Polly all women. Same damn thing. Cold bitches. Knowing how to use them cold bitches. They didn't waste that cold shit. They wasted it on a badass male. Something that they knew about yellow, like they knew something about Buck. Jedi was the thing to make them go run the Buck. Had to be. But they straight got Jedi from STP. Mm-hmm. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, I got to get myself back over here I gotta come back here so I can go look if the ship might want me to do something. So I don't want to be doing it all on the screen. Okay. You want who? Don't you got a picture of that in here? Cause I don't. I can pull it right up. Oh, do it from the last show. Yeah, I'll do it from the last show. I'll pull it up this way. Give me a chance to see it. Just put it on pause.
Real estate and travel are deeply intertwined,
Okay,
offering
so,
endless possibilities for those who are willing to explore.
gotcha.
Travel and luxury shopping.
Okay. That's right.
Great, close that. This one down here. No.
Okay. Now, do me do my.
I'm showing in the picture of Mayday.
Okay.
Now, if you look close on Mayday, you can see the scars.
Oh, definitely.
That's a cool deal.
Oh, oh yeah. If you look close enough on Mayday, one, when you're dealing with killers, it's really hard to nick them up when they're doing all the killing. But he definitely has shares of damage. And there's one little damage. This shot right here is what this shot right here. It never did fall up looking like that again. That was a shot he took in the chest, punctured his lung. You ain't gonna see a lot of scars on Kunta. Look how old he was. We call him Kunta, but let's just keep it real. Little Mayday, he was out there. Shit, he was four of them. I mean, I could say the same thing with Brat. When you ain't in a lot of wars, things like that, but these is matched dogs. We have no doubt that Mayday was matched. We have no doubt that Little Mayday was matched. We have no doubt that Bratton was matched. Look at Brat. Do you see her scarred up looking like Mayday? Because Mayday don't look like he's scarred up. You might see a few of them on them, but you ain't, and them just keeping it real with you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got back there and nicked him up. Somebody got down there and ate on him a little bit. When you see these dogs join their careers and you see these dogs out here doing what they're doing, you would not believe the care that you give these match dogs. These dogs get iodine baths when they come out the box, when they get home. These dogs has got immediate attention put on them when they come home. These are dog men. I can show you pictures of 9 Millie. I can show you pictures of Bozak. I can show you pictures of Red Man. And when you see these pictures, you're going to wonder if these dogs was ever done. Because these dogs, man, when you got dogs out there that win, we was the kind of kennels, man, that I noticed even when I was running with Stone City and Hardcore and the Abrahams and the Ohio Cashes and all of them. You know, when they got these dogs home, man, they went right to work on their dogs. Me, I'm the same way. I don't care if it's a little puncture. I'm putting a staple in there, closing the littlest hole. And that's on some real shit, y'all. They took care of these dogs immediately, not 2 days later after spending the whole next 2 days running around everybody's house bragging and feeling good about yourself. No, these dudes would take their shit home and take care of it before they got out there and start bragging about their dog. I'm pretty sure all of them did. These are the ones that I knew. Some of them dogs look clean as a whistle. The only ones that was really kind of making it hard was those ones that, took a lot of face beating. But you see Kunta, little Mayday, little Kunta, whatever you want to call him, you see his face. It ain't all chewed up. Look at Brad's face. It ain't all chewed up. But you best believe going where they was going, they was getting bit there. Get home and you clean them up, you close all that stuff up, and they heal back to being little good old dogs if you do it the right way and you give them the right attention. Because their intentions was to do their ass again. They don't want no old shit popping back up, opening back up unnecessarily. When you start looking like Zebo and them dudes was doing too many damn dogs to really care about them damn dogs. Or they wouldn't have had the scars that they had that was so blatantly exposed. A lot of scar tissue exposed because it wasn't taken care of properly. When you match them like they was matching, they were just matching dogs. They were just matching dogs. See, these new guys, like Victor, he loved his dogs. I mean, he worked so hard to finally get some shit there. He started winning. He started winning after so many losses. Now he got some shit that he can win with. Oh. That was a major thing there. Okay, how do I get back? I gotta close this thing. I see we go down here. There you go. Okay. Mike wanted me to go there, but look, when they did the same thing with the cold dog that they did with Dolly, they went to Buck. And you see what Buck produced? When they did that, they got an ideal just by when they made that breeding to with Jedi, a dog that they got from STP. Jedi produced Nico. Shoot, what if we take her and breed her to Buck? Okay, then you got Grand Champion Buck, Yellow Buck. And he didn't have nothing but a bunch of cold bitches. She was cold. She was cold. You know, a lot of these females was cold. I just picked out Sir Kel and Little Piggy. There was another one in there. There's one more. See if I can see her in here. She was cold. That was 3 cold bitches I just pulled up. Red baby. All them females, man. I don't think in the yellow buck litter, I mean they had the yellow buck had a Little May's sister Piggy. She was a champion too. Just like the Mayday litter. You know what I'm saying? But these females was cold. There she go. That's who I was looking for, baby. Cold bitch there. Cold bitch there. Cold bitch there. Where's she at? And cold bitch there. All of them, every single one of them, y'all. All litter mates. Cold just like they mama. Every one of them. And now we seeing the same old stuff, same old combination. They go all that yellow. They go that bolio. They go the G. Now it's funny we dealing with nothing but cold bitches, and we dealing with the same combination, same exact combination, and you get great dogs. All coming off of cold bitches. What's the understanding, guys? What do you think? What do you think my motto is right now, dealing with a cold bitch? We know Miss Nico wasn't cold. We know she wasn't cold. We know the Jeep bitch wasn't cold. We know he wasn't cold. But for damn sure we know she was. Double bread cold. They changed the game by knowing the right dogs to breed to. Did you notice each one of these cold bitches, this cold bitch here went to an ROM great dog, grand champion. Dolly and Polly, what did they do? Definitely Dolly, she went to a grand champion, producer. If I'm going to have a cold dog, I'm going to do what they did. I'm going to do exactly what they did. I'm not just talking about, these lines of dogs because they got the same combination, and there's no doubt everybody in this room, if you're into the Bulldogs, you know what I just got done showing you was the exact same dogs dealing with cold bitches. And how these cold bitches became registered merits because they was breeding to producing lines of winning. Grand champion buck, grand champion yellow. Now we can do that in many different ways, guys, but this is what you can create generations of great dogs. I can turn around and take, let me go pull him up. Breakers, cold ass. We just had him up here. Well, let's talk about Breaker. All this shit right here, and ain't nobody gonna tell me Breaker was game tested. But no, she wasn't. So what are they trying to do? You see what they're doing? Honey Bunch to Rascal. Honey Bunch all day. It's a Honey Bunch movie because they're using Jeep in Honey Bunch. They're using the Honey Bunch in Jeep and in Rascal. See the bully son? Eli stuff. I'll show you. Look how Eli's bred. See, that's Rascal Jr. Look how he's bred. I'm doing it with the Eli stuff now. There go my little, there's my Eli. There go my little Darbo. Litter mates, the Darbo. I mean, not litter mates, but you know, they're still using the bounce dog. See it right here? Then you see how they're taking this right here and taking Black Widow down to that. Took Black Widow there and put Black Widow there. I don't know if Black Widow was a match dog or not. I never heard her to be a game dog. That's for damn sure. Let's assume she's an untested dog. That's just as bad as being a cold dog. But they moves in the breedings that they were making. The results that they was getting. Eli. Then you go down here, you got to touch of the same old shit that we're going to find over there. We're going to find some of this shit over there in the polio stuff. Grand Tabian Buck stuff, the Highland World Dolly stuff. We're going to find some Eli over there in they stuff. And what did Hardcore do with it? Look what Hardcore did with it. He did the same thing that they did over there in Stone City with Buck, Hollingsworth, to create Mayday in them. Yellow. They did what Victor did. They did what Stone City did. Using the same thing. Cold bitch, do some good shit. What's the good shit about it? This shit here. You best believe everybody paid attention to that. Because them moves right there made these bitches all win. That male made all those bitches all win. Damn near by itself. Because he gave them bitches production power. Production power. Jeep is a production power. Honey Bunch is production power. She passed that down to Jeep. If it stands out, it stands out. You know what I'm saying? I can take, and we can go to Jeep and go look at Long's Weirdo and smile in there. They go Weirdo. We know he produced. We know he produced. We know this double bred bitch right here. She ain't no matchdog, but she look how she's bred. Heavy honey buns. But look how they taking these females. We don't know nothing about these females. But when they breed them to some shit, they get shit. It's what they breeding to. These are not names that we don't know. These are not names that we don't know. Another one right here. Game loser, great producer. What they do? They breed him to another cold bitch. Cold bitch. Me having her on the yard. Having her on the yard. Look at this. I'm triple bred. I am triple bred Diana alligator right here, y'all. I'm heavy bred alligator. Okay? This is my out. And I'm heavy bred alligator here. With this out, I'm still heavy alligator. Coming off of definitely a working bitch. But it was the alligator they was reaching for. It was the alligator they was reaching for. Because remember where this came from. I started up an alligator all down in here. And then I go and get some more alligator and I come out with a cold ass bitch. A cold bitch. A cold bitch. Siblings. Did we get anything? We didn't get shit. But I'm sitting over here in the yard with this cold ass bitch. I got a breeder. My heavy alligator bitch, cold as hell. And now I got to go breed her. I guess I breed her to the best thing I got on my yard, this loser. At least he was a match dog. He was a match dog. It's because that's exactly what you want to look at it when you start talking about breeding this bitch here. I got to breed this cold bitch to something on the yard. I got to go breed to this dog here. At least he was he lost. He lost game. And he was a match dog off a Jeep. But goddamn, look where he produced. Where did the producing power come from? Where do y'all think it came from? Look at this dog. Where do y'all think it came from? Was it really Jeep or the combination of just the fact the honey bunch threw the goddamn production right on down there with him? Bully son, production. He's all women's damn self. Like Red Boy, you don't never see it there, but that dog got that in Sporting Dog Journal time. Before there was 4 champions to make a register merit, it was only 3 bully son would have fit the criteria because he had 3 champions. Like Red Boy had 3 champions, but you don't see that all of them on this. But he was a register of merit. I mean, he had the ability to produce. Producing power. Bolio, producing power. Just like the damn whites on the tips of these dogs' feet. The genetics of the similarities of markings on the dog. You don't think these dogs passes those genetic genes of production down? Well, I can take a cold ass bitch, a nothing ass dog that I'm feeding that ain't doing shit. Before she was this, she wasn't doing nothing. And I turn around and breed it to him, the loser, but he gained. Got to have something in it. got to have something in him to do it. He had to have something in him to do it. He's feeding this shit. And he did. Bam. Off of cold bitches. And what are they using? What are they using to make these cold bitches register and marry? You know what I'm saying? That's why we're talking about these cold bitches. That's what it's all about tonight. Part of these dogs making register married, they still sitting on the yard being fed as cold ass dogs ain't doing nothing. Nothing. So if you feeding a cold ass dog and you paying close attention to this and you can pick up your pedigree and see something in it that can help you turn a cold bitch into one of these. Because I done showed you not with just the yellow. They all had that one factor in common. It's not always about the genetics that you can see. It's about the power that comes with it. If you ain't putting all this right there on it, then don't look for it to do shit because damn it, she would have still been a cold bitch if she hadn't never bred to him. Bottom line. And when you see these dogs being bred to these type of dogs, in all three of the, what, I bred threw 4 of them up. Just to show y'all I wasn't all red, boy. You know, I went and showed you some Jeep shit. You know, it's the genetics that you're looking for of the production. That trait, not only in, you know, this marking here, all these dogs got this certain kind of mark. Well, what about the production part of it? If I'm going to breed to something, I'm going to breed to something that I'm going to have a chance to have a percentage of something. If I'm taking a cold ass dog that ain't nothing on the yard I'm breeding but this cold bitch, and why am I breeding her? And she cold. I got to make sure I breed her to the right shit. Got to breed to the right shit. Cold bitch. Cold. Got to breed to the right shit. What was the production power in him? Hey, a lot of them grand champions, they stand out. They stand out. It kind of make you want to do something.
City was making dogs long before the blondie breed.
Oh, yeah. They definitely was. When you look at Blondie didn't really, let me tell y'all something. When you look at Blondie, you got Miss Piggy. Look, you got Miss Piggy and Yellow Buck. They match dogs. This is the whole damn litter. Miss Yellow, little baby. You know what I'm saying? But you got a champion and a grand champion out that deal. But y'all gonna take the cold bitch. The cold bitch. The cold bitch of the litter. Damien. Nico Jr. All off a cold bitch. But what did they do with that cold bitch? What did they do with the cold bitch? Before he lost, they took that cold bitch and bred her. You remember, it started off here. We bought the dog. We liked the dog. We took this cold bitch and bred to that cold dog. We took this boy and bred to this cold bitch and got this. Damn. We need to go ahead and take her and go breed to him. And then that little, you got a grand champion and a champion. But we're going to take this cold bitch. Since we putting all our shit together, and now they in the yard. Breeding nothing but they cold bitches. Oh, we're going to take the cold bitch and breed the and end up with him. And guess what was going on the whole time, y'all? Down the match dog. Watch what this cold bitch was able to pass on. All this. All that. You see it? You see it? Just like the markings. Just like the markings. They breeding to dogs. They're breeding to dogs that has all the right things to production. Producing line of dogs. You're going to feed a cold bitch because that's really, she's on the chain being cold. She's nothing but a dog you feed. All she is. She ain't even a car. A car, at least they do try to fight. They just quit. These here, you put one on them. Just make sure you ain't got no openings where they'll run. But they ain't trying to do nothing. But you take them very same dogs, man, and you want to make them great, especially if they bred great, you got to breed them to something greater than her. Don't count on her unless you making sure that she's breeding to something. And I've shown you all the different crosses, and every single one of them was relating their dogs with them cold bitches, with their cold dogs, and look at how they breeding to them. Look how they breeding to them. That right there is the key piece. What's making these dog cold bitches all whims? What's making these cold bitches all whim? What's making these cold bitches all OM? The production, the traits is coming through. The traits are showing up in these cold bitches if you know how to use and breed your cold bitch. They're doing it at a higher level because they're basing their lines on the percentage of chance. Because of this, not just because of this, but the consistence. The consistent. I guarantee you every one of them was paying attention to these moves while they was making them. Whether it was Stone City, Hardcore, Southern Kennels, us, Eminem. I mean, these are just the ones I'm pointing out. You got a cold bitch on your yard and you feeding her. It ain't but one better blueprint to know what to do with the bitch is go back through this show and look at the dogs that I put up because they was all cold bitches just like the one you feeding. If you want to see what it'll take to make a cold bitch a great bitch, then you better use this shit right here as a blueprint. Because I didn't show you 4 different ways, damn near 5 different ways to take a bitch that's just eating dog food for free. Ain't hit a lick. Deuce Nigel Jr., Macho. You know, that's the Macho Buck stuff. She played a major part of that. I mean, they produce good dogs, but, I mean, really, she got famous because she got bred to Mayday. That's all. That's all. All this bitch had to do is produce one dog. And look, all that evolution shit. Now, if anybody promoted dogs, they did. But all them other dogs, all them other dogs, this is the damn near to me the second Stone City made a crossing. You can't get it no tighter than what they did. They did it better than us because they went directly with the source. Yellow Buck Little May Sister straight to Mayday. But it sure as hell didn't produce what we produced. But it produced one. Dog of the year. With some help. And he's been able to be popping up in a whole lot of y'all pedigrees. You know why? I'll tell you why. Was she the factor? This cold bitch? No, this was. All this. All this. All this. All this. All this. It's like the white tips on the toes, the genetics as far as what the body looked like, and all that. Yeah, but you got to remember something, guys. This is the piece right here. This is what make your numbers. This is what gives you hope. You can't make something out of nothing. You got to have something there. You got to have something there. Because this is showing shit. Nothing. Except he's off of this and off of that. But prior to that, you still feeding a cold ass dog that ain't doing nothing. You want a chance to make something? You have to take that cold bitch to something. And you got to know when and how to do it. Now, do I got any questions, Mike? Do I got anybody saying anything? It's me. I don't remember breeding the one cold bitch on my yard. One cold bitch. I bred one cold bitch and I bred her. Yeah. When I bred her to, she produced a good damn litter. But damn, look who I bred her to. Hold on. Here's my cold bitch. Yeah, she was cold as ice. I sure as hell didn't get the production power down here where you see her all winter, but I got a whole lot of this in here. That's the good thing about it, thank God. I got a whole lot of red boy in here. I wasn't sleeping on that part. I was stuck to that. And if you notice, it's whistle all the way up. So let's go to the out. God damn. That's the out. I'm like them all the way around the table. All the way around the table. Look at me. Look at all that Zebo I got up in there. Look at the alligator, the Rufus, the stuff, the buddy, the art, candy, kingfish shit. And I'm sitting on this cold ass bitch. It's cold as hell. It's cold as hell. But what does she have in her favor? This shit. Offspring. Didn't have a bunch of them. Didn't have up like 3 or 4. Nope. Bucky Boy, that was his name. This one right here, I don't know if he ever turned on because he was sold, but I always looked at Bucky Boy, you know, like Bucky Boy. I don't know if he was going to ever produce anything or not. But I don't know what happened to him after he left. But the rest of them, these here, all of them came with a bad demise except for him. Roger Ramjet, taken. Pharaoh, 2-time winner, taken. 10-4, lost going for number 3. The one thing about it, they was Bulldogs. But she didn't have a lot of them. What was the factor? Anybody know what the factor was? He was a 2-time winner. I just don't know where he at. Oh, that's it. Hold on. What made it work? What made me want to breed this cold ass bitch to him? What was I thinking? I was thinking the same way everybody else was thinking. We know this is producing based on the dogs we got out of this. I took my bitch and I went to some shit that's bred like everybody else is doing. I'm doing what everybody else doing when I took my bitch and bred to him. You see it? That gave me the perfect setup to be wanting to breed her cold ass to something I know is sitting on my yard. Know what's sitting on my yard. She's still sitting on the damn chain eating. Coming off of 2 champions. Cold as hell. Ain't doing shit but eating food. But my chances of percentage, I breeded to the right one. And why did I breed to him? Because he had all the stuff, all the right stuff. And what was all that right stuff doing? Producing. I got Red Boy, I got Jeep, all up in here. I got Red Boy, I got Jeep, and I got Buck. All producing dogs. Even got to throw in the Mayday because it's got the yellow there. All production. Production. What is my chances? What would be my percentage? I have a higher percentage if I take and breed her to this shit. Genetics don't mean nothing. It just tells me that if I can get it in looks and pointing out certain things about these dogs, then it got to carry that ROM shit behind it. He's got to be able to produce. I got to take a chance. But I'm not taking a bad chance because I got Jeep all up in this shit. I got Jeep here. I got Jeep here. I got Jeep here. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go to talking about breeding back in the mama with all that Zebo down in here, we carrying Zebo down here and up here. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget Red Ace, Zebo, production power. Whole bunch of all women sitting in there. I should have no problem, especially with this dog. Why wouldn't I? I studied too. I bred to what I saw. I have a better chance of taking some production. Go into some shit that you know is producing. You know this shit is working. I might be able to make this cold bitch something special. Breed her to the right shit like everybody else was doing with their cold bitches. Doing like everybody else did with their cold bitches. And I wasn't even doing it on the level, but I was definitely picking up on the main thing. I was picking up the formula that they were using. Maintaining the formula that's being used. And how can it work for me with totally different dogs? Understanding it's not about the match part no more. It's about the production part. You gotta get the production part. You gotta carry it with you if you're gonna be dealing with cold bitches. You gotta have them cold bitches being bred to the right bulldogs. And sometimes you have to really pay attention to the papers and make sure that you're doing it the right way. Just grabbing them and having a bunch of damn puppies and shit, and thinking, this is what's gonna work for you. And then you find yourself feeding a bunch of cold ass dogs and a bunch of dogs that ain't worth a damn. You just gotta be smart. Why go guessing when you can concentrate on doing something with that cold bitch to something that you know not only has a incredible match history, but comes from a line who was creating a match history. What's your chances compared to Jimmy over here who's matching his papers up with shit that just look good? They got good bred dogs in there, but are they good bred producing dogs? And what do your cold bitch got to bring to the table to make it happen? Does she have production in her pedigree? Then if she don't, you need to be breeding to a grand champion who's coming off a production line. Period. Somebody who's already throwing some shit. You want to save her cold ass, that's where you need to be going. It ain't about, Jimmy got one over there across the street, and he's just a game ass dog. Yeah, I seen him go. Does he have any production? No, but you seen him go. Then you can guarantee you ain't gonna have much of a production out of him and that cold ass bitch. Trust me. Because he has not that to carry in his genetics. If he doesn't have that to carry in his genetics and it's up there where it's plausible for you to get a hold of, then you just producing a bunch of shit. Because usually that's what you end up with. You might have good dogs that can get there, but can they get there and win? Do you get the percentage of winners to be able to tag champion, or registered mayor, following the back to the front with cold bitches? You got to understand how to breed a cold bitch. I think I've pointed the formula out in the way it was done with more than receipts, if you can read. I gave you receipts of facts.
Let me tell you about what we was working with.
Only what you working with. I can't be diving all over the place. I can tell you what I know. I can tell you what I was doing, what I was seeing. I'm pretty sure I can go through other pedigrees and show you the same thing. But I'm just pointing out the bitches that I bought up, that was cold bitches, you know what I'm saying? They historically made the right move to go down in history as some badass producing bitches. Cold bitches. Any questions, man? We can cut. It's 11 o'clock. I can cut this one short here. Hey, guys, hope y'all understand that one. Ain't nobody tell a story like me when it comes to putting down some educational thought. Because I did it. You know, I got a KP, the Earl Tudor Jr., he could do it with any damn line. He understands it like that. Me, I'm arguing the point right along with him because our biggest issue is which one of these ROM great producing dogs that we want to use. You picking him and I'm picking this one. Or we get down in there and get deeper than that. You know? Because we don't want to feed a bunch of damn cold dogs either. We don't want to feed a bunch of damn dogs that, you know, he's a good dog. Damn that good dog if I can't win with his ass. I'm going to have a whole yard of game dogs. I'm going to have a whole yard of good dogs that can't match shit. I don't need that shit. I need some shit that I can work with. You got to follow the line. It's going to work. Not give me a bunch of could-be's. You know, a bunch of good dogs. Is that what you want? You want good dogs, and you're going to get good dogs. Are you going to ever be able to match these good dogs? No, because it's not in your pedigree, and you're not going to be seeing it in your dogs. That's it. You'll be finding yourself breeding these good dogs and still getting the same old shit and never reaching that plateau. Never reaching the plateau. You just can continue having this shit. And sometimes it ends up where, you know, somebody gets lucky, take your dog and do something that you didn't do. Now he's getting all the damn flavor and you catching the back end of it based on a great move that he made with your shit. Then you continues to have good shit. He took and bred it to some great shit. Now he's got a whole yard of doing some shit with that your yard hasn't done in 3 or 4 goddamn tries and generations. But you're going to have him to fall back on because without your shit, he couldn't have never been able to do that. So you will always be carried right along with that shit. And that's the good part about it. But just remember, he did something that was different than what you was doing. And he did it with your shit.
I mean, Hemi James. Big shout out to my man, Hemi James. He said, most of the examples Twin is showing are getting bred back into their own families.
Not necessarily, because the Dolly to Yellow, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Dolly to Yellow was not part of the family. Jedi to Yellow was not part of the family. All right? Smiley to Miss Kim was not part of the family. Miss Kim was a heavy alligator. I mean, what is it, Miss Kim? Miss Kim? Is it Miss Kim or Miss K? Well, you know, she was not part of the family when she bred the Smiley. No. So I was not just pointing out dogs that was bred into their own family. There was actually dogs that bred outside of their family. Tell me if I'm wrong. Hear me? Come on now. You got to agree with that one. Because they were not. They were all jumping outside their family. That's right. When I bred Pretty Mama coming off of Beetlejuice, I jumped outside the family. Even though I had Heavy Red Boy down there and I had a lot of Zebo down there, When I went and bred to Buck Rogers, I was dealing with a line of dogs that was producing. And I was trying to take some of that little bit of production was coming off of Beetlejuice. There's got to be ROM. If he's a production dog, his damn self coming off of ROM, little down there himself, and I'm breeding to a bunch of dogs up here that they coming out of litters of nothing but ROM because these dogs are becoming ROMs based off of these dogs. I wouldn't give a damn what line it is. It ain't got to be in the same line. If they're doing that, I'm going to take this shit and try to dag into that. It don't have to be in the same line. Especially if I'm feeding a cold bitch that ain't doing nothing. No, I'm going to try to step outside that line like they did. Because that's exactly what they did. Hardcore did it with Breaker. Eminem did it with Smiley. Stone City did it with Awesome Baby. And Dolly did it with Yellow. I just named off 4 dogs who went outside their line and did it. Okay? So I would have to disagree, Mr. James. Not saying that you're completely wrong, but the concept of the whole saga and how you breed these cold bitches is you're not trying to breed them back into their line. You're trying to breed them to something that can produce a line. That was the key.
Being great dogs to great dogs don't always work.
Yep, being great dog to great dogs don't always work. I mean, we talking about cold bitches that ain't great about shit, but they carrying down their ROMs under their name based on who they bred to. And each one of them ones that I named bred to something that was outside their line. Even though they had great pedigrees, they still didn't have the production hold on to it until they bred to a great dog. Them great dogs, those great breeders would turn those bitches into ROM. They didn't make them dogs up there. Shit, them dogs down there helped that cold bitch produce a great litter. And that's what it's all about, breeding your bitches to the right dogs. Anybody else? But good, that was a good one, Mr. James. You know,
Yes, you showed both.
That's right. Yes, once they started. Remember, once they started producing ROM, then you start crossing them back into their own lines. Remember, the breedings were already made. The cold bitches had already done their part. Yes, it's why now you bring it back to the lines. You're taking them and you're breeding those dogs back into your lines. Because you created the spin. You created that percentage on your yard. You got the percentage on your yard to do so.
You got to go outside the yard now.
But you got to go outside the yard to start it if you're dealing with a cold bitch. You're dealing with a cold bitch, you don't try to run back into a line that, you know, that's crossing with your line and ain't neither one of y'all worth a damn when it comes to producing. Then you ain't going to have no producing dogs. You got to breed her to a line that's going to be some production there, something. I mean, a champion may not even be good enough. He ain't coming from a champion line of dogs that's producing. You know, we're not looking at just the champion. We're looking at the production of that champion. That's what I'm looking for. Give a damn what the line is. I don't want it to be my line. I don't want it to be that bottom side. I want to bring that into my shit. Because I'm bringing a cold bitch to the table. They ain't did nothing but eat. That's how I look at it. But I definitely named 4 of them. Definitely, I bet you I named more. Here, I'll go back to them and Triple M. Hey, let me pull them back up so you can, let me show you one more time. I'm going to show you that they're not going back into their own line. Okay, hold on. There's Mayday. That is not Mayday going back into his own line. That is Dolly down here going outside her line. That's one. I can take the same thing and do it with Awesome Baby. This is Awesome Baby. All right? All that yellow. That's yellow going outside his line. That's two. Got to admit. I got to go pull up Miss Kim. Let me go see if I can find her. Miss K, Miss K, Miss K, Miss K. Look at Miss K now. That's all alligator. Whole bunch of alligator. Whole bunch of alligator. You're going to find them all up in there. The man stepped outside the yard. Outside the line. That's outside the line. That's three. And you know, we don't got to deal with Polly. We already know what Polly did. She did the same thing. In Blondie, same thing. Yeah. Well, Blondie breeding bred back into Mayday is a line breeding because all the Patrick that was in her. But these are dogs that was completely outside the line, outside the scope. You know what I mean? There's the connection. There's no connection in there. Am I right, Mr. Hemi? Just want to get me and you on the same page, baby. That's all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Polly and Dolly, yeah, but see, Polly, she had Dolly to come back into. Remember, Polly had Dolly to come back into because all they did is took Polly and bred back into Dolly's line. You know, Dolly was the one that did the step out. Remember when she bred the yellow, just like Awesome Baby when she bred the buck. They're stepping outside the line. That's not breeding into their own line. That is not. This is not breeding into their own line. I can go and grab here. Let me go back and let me go grab. Let me go ahead back in here and grab Bozak and them again. Now I just showed you three. I showed you three. He did not go back into his own line. Okay, that's four. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Hemi? That's four. Being bred to yellow. He did not go back into their own line. That's four bitches. Co-bitches. I'm just trying to get you on my path. You know, your receipt is just trying to help you not debate, because you can't debate to what you're looking at. You're a dog man. You see what I'm pointing out. I just showed you 4 dogs out of the 5 or 6 dogs that I showed. No, they don't go back into their own lines. They're taking these cold bitches and they're stepping out their lines and they're stepping into lines that has production. Production. Accolade with production. They all did it and they all ran with it. They all created great dogs. They all created great dogs. And they created stuff for them to work with when they started going back into those lines. So I know we can agree on that because you can get with me and see it for yourself that twin, you're right. Well, it don't hurt for me to be right. Because once you agree with me, then we on the same path. I just wanted to point it out that what you said was not all that correct. See, that's outside the line. Outside the line. You know what I'm saying? This here is not outside the line. This is inside the line. Why? Because I got all that yellow, all that red boy. I got Zebo. I got Jeep. This is inside the line. This cold bitch is being played with inside the line. Because we're going to find red boy all up in here. We're going to find Jeep down here. All up here. We're going to find Zebo down here. And we're going to find Zebo right here. These are lines. Nothing like these here. Nothing like them. Nothing like them. You know what I mean?
There's a reason why they doing the out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to keep going back to this something you ain't
Right, you ain't getting shit. You got a cold bitch here. You ain't doing nothing. You trying to find something. It was these dogs like this, them jumps outside the line is what made these bitches worthy from just being a cold bitch. I'm showing you. There's probably other dogs out there that can do the same thing. These are dogs that we know. Noted. The combination. Remember, we can do it with the bucket stuff. Did they play within the lines? Yeah, they played it within the lines. On buckets. The Gaston dogs. Did they play within the lines? Did they play within the lines? No. Daisy May, another cold bitch. Did they play within the lines? No. They took her outside the line. Factors. These are what made her that. Now I just showed you 4 bitches. Basically 5 tonight. Grabbing a whole different other line. We know one damn thing for sure. We do know one thing for sure. You add this stuff in here, to this up in here, you're going to get production if you're using a cold bitch. It's a proven fact if you can read. So I just want you to get on the same page as me. I don't want you to walk out of this room tonight thinking we was on the same page. I want you to be on the same page because you see where I'm coming from. I ain't trying to knock your word. Thank you. And I definitely glad you brought that up. I'm glad that we even had this conversation for me to go back through it so you could see that because you're the dog man. You could see that. I know you can. I just wanted to make it a little bit more clear to you. So thanks for even bringing it up for those who don't know. You know, you quicker to adjust to what I'm saying than somebody who really don't know it. You know what I'm saying? And your word carries a lot. And I don't want nobody to get confused because even I listen to you, Mr. Hemi. So if I get you on the right page with me, then you're going to get everybody else on the right page when it comes down to you. Because you carry weight too. We dealing with cold bitches, y'all. That's what this show is about, dealing with the cold bitches. And these dogs be able to produce. That's the funny thing about it. That's the funny thing about it. They take these cold bitches and they do this shit, and next thing you know it, you got a whole damn line of dogs that's coming off this shit. You get lucky. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Any more?
James said, no worries. I'm enjoying the combo.
Okay, I'm glad, man, because I enjoy going back through that too, man, just to show you, though. I really did. I really did. I enjoy going back there and showing you, because I sure did not want you to leave with that thought. And I'm glad you brought it up. Really. It makes a good conversation for everybody. So they can go back and see it one more time. You know, you can do it with any line if you use these cold bitches the right way. It's not bad to have a cold bitch. It's bad when she ain't doing shit. That's the bad thing about it. I'm telling you, bitch, you better do something. I'm giving you one crack. I'm going to put you with a good one. Do my homework. I'm going to put you with a good one. If you do that, man, that's every one of them dogs picked up all of them being bred to the right damn dog. Every single one of them. Cold bitches. ROMs. Come on, y'all. Cold bitches making ROM. Why? It's never had nothing to do with the cold bitch. It has something to do with the breeder breeding to the right shit.
Our philosophy hasn't changed. We try to breed the best to the best.
We try to breed the best to the bitch, but don't think I'm taking this cold ass bitch talking about I'm breeding the best to the best, because that bitch is not the best. Okay? This right now, this bitch is just sitting on the chain, growing up, cold as hell, ain't done shit up to this point. Now you in heat. Now you in heat. Now I got to find out how I'm going to breed this bitch to make her worthy of staying on this damn yard. You know what I'm saying? Because I still got to go through the agony of raising these damn puppies from the giddy up. Like all these other guys had to do. For them to even be able to say that they made ROM with these cold bitches. Because each and every one of them use their cold bitches.
You gotta wait.
You know how much? You know what kind of waiting time that is, and you still feeding this bitch. I'm sorry. You got to be out there doing this shit to realize what that means. You know, even when you go out there and she come in heat, and you looking at her, just looking at her. No, I don't even like cold dogs. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at them. Imagine them. Imagine them with these cold bitches, man. They made the right moves. They made the right moves. That's all that was. And every one of them did the same damn thing. You notice they all did the same thing with their cold bitches. That's the part I'm trying to point out to y'all. Y'all back here in my world where these is how match dogs were created. At least the ones that we can talk about. You know, everybody don't get that opportunity. If everybody could do it, imagine what the game would have looked like back then. Woo! Competition would have been deep. What? A lot of them great ass breeders would not have made it if everybody had picked up on that shit and started doing it. Think about it. Think about it. If everybody was doing it, jumping out there with that cold bitches breeding to some top-notch shit that had the production behind it, everybody striving to make that cold bitch an ROM, everybody catching on to the damn concept of what it took, everybody got the secret. What? we'd have been seeing some great ones, some really great dog matches. Because the percentages in the litters breeding that way, it's already a proven fact. The percentages. So if everybody's playing on percentages, that means you got a lot of good dogs going into each other. A lot. If everybody had that opportunity and understanding of what they was feeding when they was feeding this cold ass dog that ain't doing nothing. Nothing. Because every single one of the bitches started off being nothing.
Okay.
Any more questions? Anybody got any more comments? Anything of the sort? You know, usually, I mean, at this time, you know, I would be looking for guys that you know, reach in there and throw something up before I close out the night, you know, or something that is similar to what we're talking about tonight. You know what I'm saying? It would be interesting, but it's hard to do. And I do understand that. Because it is hard to do. It only looks easy because these were already done. We already see the outcome. We see the results. But prior to those results, we don't fucking know what we gonna get. But they played with the percentages, and that's the point that I'm trying to make to you guys. If I can show you what it looked like for it to work, maybe I can get you to understand that. Maybe I just taught you something. That tomorrow when you go outside and feed your bitch and you know she's a cold bitch, and you like it because the way she's bred, don't be too quick to breed her back into her own shit. That's all. Don't do it. Because you're going to keep on getting some bullshit. It ain't going to do what you wanted to do. You have to take it somewhere, and as always say, best way to breed a cold bitch is to breed her outside her own shit. That's what I always felt. You know, I hated breeding cold bitches. But I bred Sarah Kell to Roger. She didn't take. I bred Naya to Roger. She didn't take. And both of them bitches was cold. Yes, sir. But I bred Naya to Twisted and got some shit. But I was breeding back into their own line. Like Hemi said, that's one of them ones that he can say he was right. But Naya wasn't a registered mare. She could have been. If all three of those dogs had won their championship, she would have been. She was 3 short. 3 wins short. But guess what? I'm talking about Powder. Powder was 3 wins short from being a registered mare, and she was a cold bitch. But yes, I did breed her back into her line. She had Jeep. You know, her top, Buck Rogers has Jeep. Buck Rogers has Red Boy. The only thing that Powder didn't have was the Buck. But that's one of them lines, yeah. Or I did take that bitch and breed her back into her line. Because she was definitely a Jeep Red Boy dog. You know what I'm saying? She was definitely a Jeep Red Boy dog. So I bought up Naya and I bought up Powder. Dogs that produce winning dogs that was bred into their own line. At least majority of their line they were beaten back into. Shaquille was working because they kept breeding it back into the Mayday stuff. Remember Romel Buck, when you took Sarah Kell, she's an example. If you say we're going to take Sarah Kell and we're going to go get Romel Buck. Okay, here we got Ramel Buck. You see what they did with Ramel Buck? This is the line. They took Ramel Buck. This is Ramel. Champion Ramel. Look at Ramel. He's still a Red Boy Jeep Cross. He still got the buck in him. He's got the double buck because Scooter is going to have that Indian bolio. You see the stuff that damn near the same shit you see in Mayday. Still, we got Red Boy, we got Red Boy. Remember them top four doors? There's the Jeep, there's the yellow, there's the buck. What they do with him? Snicker, Julianne, they're getting matchdogs, but this is the one that we all know about. That one. Why? That dog was bred into his own line. You bred this bitch, she's got Jeep, yellow, and buck. You know what I'm saying? Straight cold bitch. So that's another one, Hemi, you were right about. See, you're not all the way wrong. Because that is a cold bitch being bred back into her line. Because we see Jeep, yellow, and buck down here, and we're going to see Jeep, yellow, and buck up here. So it works all different ways. So Mr. Hemi James was definitely not wrong in his answer, in what he said, because I've showed you 2 times that what he said is true. So he is not wrong on what he's saying, because it is being done and it shows that it worked. Here's the difference between what I'm showing you when you do it this way. Yes, you're going to get production with doing this, but where is the production for the ROMs? That's the part I'm making. Give me the ROM, bitch. I seem like I'm getting that when I step out the line. When I play within the lines with a bunch of great dogs, I'm getting a great dog, but am I going to produce 2 damn pages? Am I going to produce 2 pages full? What did he produce? Monster Buck, 2-time winner best of show. Grand champion Ramel Buck, grand champion Rodriguez, Siquel Jr. These want to look at them? Let's take a look. You see what I'm saying? Do we know this as a fact? Hell no. Why? Because of this. Do it again. See what I'm saying? No, I didn't. I had this one. Same thing. Same dog. See that shit? No. We can't fly. I ain't flying with that. I ain't flying with that. Okay, I see Green Mile. I can go with that one. But I don't see the all women there. You know, we if it was really worthy, I'd have had it up. There's another nice one. We know he's works. two-time winner Best in Show, Bulldog, he bet into his own line. Again, Mr. Hemi James is right again. Because you can. But you ain't gonna get 2 pages full to show me one decent dog. And that was the only decent dog in 2 pages. Everybody else, he is 2-time best in show. We got 2 pages. This is the point that I was making. You ain't gonna get shit. What I said from the start. You beat this cold bitch? Yeah. But where's the production at? You didn't get it. But all this, because you stayed within your line. Y'all can go back and replay this stuff and look at it a little closer. And again, thank you again, Mr. Hemi, for bringing that up, because you gave me another opportunity to go in there and show them where you were right. But the flaw in doing that, you may get the match dog, but are you going to get the production? And you're going to find yourself being a whole bunch of what? 2 pages of what? Okay, get that. That's not how you. I'm not feeding a bunch of that shit. But that's all I'm having. No, I'm gonna go back to what I where we started at. We take these cold bitches and stuff out the line, then come back in and start playing in the line. That's all.
Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah, once it's there, it's there. Because that means those puppies are gonna have that genetic strand to be able to help out a lot.
All right, fellas, we had 147 people who voted in the poll tonight. Appreciate everybody who voted in the poll. Let me tell you what the poll was. Would you use a cold American Pit Bull Terrier female in your breeding program? We had 63% that said yes, 37% that said no.
Not bad. It's not bad, because if I was to do it again, do that poll on the next show, I guarantee those numbers would be even higher. They would be even higher after the show. Because every one of y'all who paid attention will have a way to breed that bitch. You know what I mean? Every one of y'all would see the opportunity to see that, oh, I see what Mo was talking about. Because he was showing them cold bitches, throwing like them, cold bitches making all them. But how was they making it? You used to put that back up there after watching this show, I guarantee you it'd be higher than that 67%. Because a lot of you guys, 63%, it would be a lot more than 63% after watching the show. That's for sure. Even taking in part what me and Hemi was talking about, and Hemi being right too. Hemi being right too. Taking cold bitches going back into the line. You might not make no production, but you might get some match dogs. A match dog might not be able to produce a damn thing, but you're gonna get you a match dog, you get you a winner. Had that on the yard with that cold bitch. Yeah, she threw that motherfucking champion over there, and then you got a brother over there. Ain't neither one of them gonna be able to produce shit. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. But he was right. Your better chances on how you breed will make sure that I guarantee that 63% will be higher than it was. Especially if you watch the show.
All right, fellas, we at that point in time. This is Hot Mic Friday. We ain't trying to hang out all night. I need y'all to help me out. You understood what was going on, and you understand what's in the process of showing you about about these cold bitches. Help me out. Show me some love. And just give me some damn thumbs up, thumbs up.
Come on, man. Show me some love tonight, y'all.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Show me some love tonight.
Muscles.
Muscles. Muscles.
Now, give me some damn roses. Roses. If you learned anything tonight, give me some
damn roses. Big shout out to Henry James, man. I enjoyed that, bro. I mean, I think, you know, the two parts of that puzzle, you really did make me go back in there and show them where you was right. You know, and that was a good move to go back. Not only to go back and show you, but also to go back and show you where you were right.
There was a difference.
There's a difference. Man, I hope I got some roses, man, because, I mean, you know, every once in a while I had to go back here in the dungeon and go and take them on a school trip. You know, I got a busload of cold bitches tonight. We ain't got no breaking sticks, didn't need none. Okay? Everybody bought their cold bitch tonight, so everybody get your dogs, get your cold bitches back on there. First time we ever had to get on the bus with no breaking sticks. Didn't need none. Everybody's dog back there sniffing and licking each other and shit. Okay? Yeah, I love y'all too.
All right, fellas. As we close out the night, I'm pretty sure it was one of them actually, we be having these conversations, you know, and we be laughing about it because, you know, so many people would be thinking that, you know, man, I ain't going to be messing with no cold shit. But remember, I told you, a lot of the people we spoke on tonight, these are people we actually know. Just like I said about Victor. If Victor had anything on the yard, Victor was, no, he was too much into matching these dogs. Remember, Victor was mad because, you know, all them brothers got them dogs out there and ain't nobody, you know, doing the right thing.
He fussing. So Mayday was putting some dogs out there in our hands, man. Everybody was getting them mugs and running with them. You know what I'm saying? And half of them ain't trying to report the matches and shit. No, Victor holding papers like a mug. He held the papers hostage. Trust me, I know. I had a lot to do with a lot of those dogs getting their matches reported. Victor wasn't giving them no papers. Y'all done made these dogs, now y'all wanting to breed them, and now y'all looking for papers. I'm not giving you shit. Y'all make them damn dogs in those wins count.
Kind of got to know Victor to understand that, though.
I knew Victor pretty well.
You know,
I'm not, I don't even speak their language. And so, very hard for me to talk to him sometimes. But we talked. And I paid attention to what he was doing. And the fact was, every one of those champions that came off of Mayday, there was none of them being used by Victor. Did y'all ever notice that? All them dogs off of Mayday. I can honestly tell you, 99% of them did not win a championship with Victor.
he was breeding up some shit, though. That was true.
But so when they go to saying, Mayday was he promoted? I don't think Mayday was promoted like I think when Victor started breeding Mayday, he had no idea that all those champions was going to be great dogs. I think Victor was just breeding because he had Grand Champion Mayday. That's what I think. And he had 3 great dogs in that litter. So he started breeding the hell out of Mayday and selling dogs like Evolution be doing. You know, that's one thing that they all had in common. All of them had it in common. Hardcore, Stone City, Southern Kennels, Missing Link. When they got those dogs, they became breeders. They started selling all them damn dogs, cashing in. They had the great dogs to do it with. They turned into breeders. About the money. That's where the promotion came from. What made him famous was the dogs that he sold. Not the fact he was just a great dog. Now he's a great producer based on what he was selling. We wouldn't be talking about evolution. We wouldn't be talking about Chico Lopez if they wasn't following the same guidelines that created those dogs. Because all of them turned into breeders. All of them went for the money. All of them. And none of them matching their own shit. Why? When they can't afford to lose. They lose, yard goes to shit. Why to go to shit? Because you're losing. They'd rather see you take the shit and lose with it than them lose with it. Because right now they ain't doing nothing but selling dogs.
That's it.
That's it.
You see what that turned into?
Fiasco.
A fiasco.
All going all over on the other side of wherever and coming back great. You know, Lord. Can't none of them win over here. You know, I'm still on that evolution shit. They pay their way. You know, I'm saying it again. Because they all were salesmen. And Victor was right along with them. Like I said, he was right along with them. All of them goes for that.
That guap.
That's it. Stone City made money. Evolution made money. Stone City never said nothing about those sneaky shit that Evolution was doing with their line of dogs. Neither did Victor. Because they was all making money. But none of them matching shit. I got to say Stone City, you know, once they got to that pocket, you know, and they made that cross. You got Luca, okay, you know, again. But a lot of Stone City else dog like Awesome Beasts and you know, the two Awesome Beasts and those dogs and dogs like Jesse James in there where they were still matching dogs, but they were selling more than they were using. You know, you have Stone City, Puerto Rico, and then you have Stone City, America. Stone City, America was selling dogs. Actually, after Jesse James, which was not basically American, but the only next thing after that was Luca. Luca. That's what really...
Grand champion.
That Grand Champion Luca. Yeah.
But you got to be around to understand the change. When you're there and you're watching it prior to them becoming breeders, they were already
matching
dogs and wasn't playing them, didn't care, you know. But that's what comes with having good dogs. That guap, you know. And that played a major point based on everything that they did afterward. You know, y'all still living in the effects of what they did when they became breeders. You know, we just try to show you how and what they did because they wasn't the first ones to do it. If you go back and just look, David Tant did it. I mean, this Cruz did it.
Shit. James Crenshaw did it. They was selling dogs. Once they got them dogs and went with them dogs, they all was studying and selling puppies. They start making enough money down, matching a damn dog. They can't afford to take none of these dogs right here that they selling out here and be out here losing with them. They gonna let y'all do that.
They put enough out there. Only the ones we're gonna talk about are the winners anyway.
Exactly. I mean, shit. Tom Gardner, he ain't the best one at doing it. I mean, for all the old school ones, Tom got it down pat. Tom got it down pat because he is nothing but a breeder. Yet his name is ringing all over great dogs.
There's a reason.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all, again, just to sum it up, I'm just getting it down to the facts. It's just the facts. Now, there's so many other dog men out there, so many other dogs that you can do this with. We're just speaking on the ones that we know. We've had relationships, so we got a little, insight on the way their way of thinking. We get a chance to see the outcome when they became the hunter and then became the breeder. It all makes sense. We just never got into that level to where we was out here trying to breed dogs.
Definitely
To be selling them.
Never got to that part.
Never got to that part. Good thing was we had enough good shit on the yard that where we could now stay within the yard and still go out to bring more back to the yard. That's why we have all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Because we never were able to transition into the breeding aspect of it. But we understood enough that this is how we're going to have match dogs. And we just need a certain type of match dog. We ain't trying to find a 2-hour, 3-hour match dog. We're trying to get the best of the best that's going to get in there and get out of there and, make it a quick day. And that's just based off of understanding the trait and understanding the breeding, and then try to understand why is you taking and doing the breedings that you're doing. Behind every breeding we did, there was a reason. We just wasn't breeding just to be breeding dogs. And for us not to be breeders, think about the hunter. Hunter thinks a whole lot different than the breeder. You can see that in the way these guys who started out hunters and became breeders. It didn't matter what came after the fact at this point, because they made a name for themselves and they made a lot of damn money. Remember, it was 15 champions running around here and not one of them came to victor. Not a one. But he had them, that's how many he had out there. That's how many people he put the dogs in the right hands. Remember, that's what it was all about back then. Putting them in the right hands. How you think we got the opportunity? I don't think if we were matching dogs, we would have ever got the opportunity. But the fact that we had the opportunity. So understanding that part and understanding the difference, y'all got to take this conversation and dissect it, and then put yourself in one of those positions that you're trying to, based on what you're trying to be when it comes to creating good dogs. Back in our time, this was the norm. This is the ones that was making it, got to find out why they were better than everybody else. What made, with all this shit going on, why did them dogs stand out over everybody else? Great marketing programs, great breedings, great dogs. Great dogs are not hard to find. They just hard to make. You know what I'm saying? And understanding what it takes to make it is why we talk about it, because we're only going to talk about the ones that everybody else can see. You can talk about. It's hard to find them ones out there in the back. That's why you use these platforms to expose and give them people their roses, because there are many of them out there like that. We can only tell you about our adventure. Sometimes it pays to share them other people's adventures because they deserve it. I mean, we could sit down and do one on the Undertaker, the original bounty hunter, and I mean, there's so many men that deserve their roses that, over time we gonna start bringing them back to the light, Because, I mean, they don't get enough recognition. Lockdown Rudy, he's another one that don't get his roses the way I think he should. You know? What's the BCC? The Click Boys?
Oh, boot camp.
Boot camp. My boys that were at the boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
You got to check they shit out.
Yeah, Dusan.
Dusan and them.
Kimmer.
Kimmer, yeah.
They was matchmen before they became breeders.
Breeders, man.
They did the same thing too. They made their dog famous and start becoming breeders, selling every damn thing.
That's the history of the game, gentlemen. If you understand the history of the game, I mean, how and what you do moving forward determines what you're trying to do and your purpose. That's all we're saying here. As we close it out tonight, any dog of the night tonight, man? You gonna pick one?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna let them pick one. Hey, y'all, which one y'all want me to put up? Which one you think earned the dog of the night?
All time. Who is it?
All time. What dog is it? Mike, check the chat right quick.
All right.
Hey, guys, I'm trying to find a dog of the night. I'm gonna let y'all pick that dog out of all them 4 curs. Them 4 or 5 curs. Which one we giving dog of the night to?
Yeah, we're here talking about the Doucettes.
Well, they was. They had a good line of dogs. I mean, I could have pulled them up. And we would have took a look at them and just see. I told them to send me some numbers. Hey,
We can talk about the Doucettes.
we can do them. We can do them another day. Doucettes, Mr. Kimmer. Definitely do them. Mm-hmm. Cajun boys there. The Epinets. Yes, sir.
I'm not getting any help on it. Somebody said Dolly.
Okay, we got one for Dolly. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Well, y'all didn't give me much help. Give him one more chance. Anybody else other than that said Dolly?
Ron King said Eminem's K. Kim. K.
Okay, okay.
We got a Dolly. We got a
Miss K.
Miss K. Got another Dolly.
Got another Dolly. Ain't nobody throwing Awesome Baby up in there. Y'all just threw Awesome Baby to the wolves. Awesome Baby threw dogs that ended up producing dogs. But yeah, I can see where you could go with Dolly because
Pit Dog Dolly. Big shout out to my brother Pit Dog. I see you, fam.
it's hard to not pick Dolly now.
Chico Nicholas, I see you, fam. Mr. Ron King, what up, fam? Mad Doctor, what up, fam?
Everybody saying Dolly, man. I guess it's gonna have to be Dolly, man. Hold on, let me get her up here. Okay, I guess we're gonna go play with Dolly then. Dolly and Polly. Dolly's got the dog of the night on. Okay. Okay. See them little white feet there. You always remember about them genetics. See where they got it from. They sure as hell didn't get it from yellow. You know what I'm saying? Sure as hell didn't get it from yellow.
All right, y'all know what the deal is, whether they code or not. Fact is, the only reason the code one is even worthy of talking about because it had to have that ability to always.
Necessarily. Code bitch, you might not be able to do it, but our offspring was able to do it. And that one thing they did, they made sure that they
Always
scratch the wind, fellas. Let me get that one more time. Let me so y'all can see my face, because I'm going to always show you this. You got to put them in there.
Got to put them in there. Let me get in there.
Put them in there.
I'm trying to tell you, man, them ROMs means register of merit, meaning they putting them down.
Put them down.
You best believe. We wouldn't be talking about it, they wasn't being about it. And I know they was always. That damn it, this is a proven fact, man. They always scratch the wind, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Look. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up. See what's up. Go ahead, Mo.
Dog of the night right there. Dog of the night. The chat room has spoken. Hollywood Dolly. Dog of the night. The Patrick dog, Bolio dog got it for the night, y'all. Not the yellow dog.